Hello everybody, my name is Jared and I would like to share with you the story on why I became a Mason. But before I start that, I'd like to say that this is the first video that was ever uploaded to this channel. So if you're joining us for the first time, please go back and look at the other videos that have been uploaded, see if they answer any of the questions that you might have, and please subscribe so that you can be a part of the discussion from here on out. So with that, here's my story. In my previous job, the gentleman that I worked for was a really great guy. In fact, we were more friends than we were colleagues. Sure, we had a very professional relationship, but at the same time, if I ever went out of town, I knew he would help me and check up on my family, make sure we weren't having any problems, make sure that they had everything that they need, and I would do the same thing for him as well. So there came a time where I knew that my job was actually going to come up. You see, I was a contractor in that position, and the contract was going to end. So one day, he came to work with the classified ads and told me about another position that he thought I'd do really well in and encouraged me to apply for it. So I did, and I ultimately ended up getting that position. But before I started that new job, I went and had lunch with him and another good friend of mine. And while we were sitting there eating, my old boss, he said to me, are you sure you really want to do this? Because we knew that the new job was going to be very politicalized, that there was going to be a lot of back and forth, and in general more stress than the position that I had previously. And I was telling him, sure, yeah, I thought everything would be fine. And then tongue-in-cheek, I said to him, so long as I don't have to know any secret passwords or handshakes, I think I'd be just fine. And he chuckled about it and said it's funny that I mentioned that because he was a Master Mason. And then the gentleman right next to him, again another friend of mine, said, well, I'm a Master Mason too. And I wasn't really shocked, but I was surprised because I didn't know that they were Master Masons. And we talked about it a little bit, and he even said at one point that he had always wondered if maybe I was a Mason just because of the way I carried myself. And all I really took away from that was a little bit more information about what Freemasonry was, and the fact that two of my really good friends who I had a lot of respect for were Master Masons. So things went on. I started my new job, and got new friends. And a gentleman who worked in the floor right above me, he had a Masonic ring on. And that tripped my curiosity because my friends from my previous job, even though they were Master Masons, they didn't wear any of the rings or clothing or stickers on their vehicles or anything like that. So unless you were to ask them, they didn't have any way for you to just quickly identify them as being a Mason. So I asked this new friend of mine at my new job about his ring, and he told me about Freemasonry and what it meant to him and all those kind of things, and shared with him the story about my friends at my past job. And I just left that conversation. I didn't ask about joining Masonry at the time, but I left just knowing a little bit more about it and a little bit more information that yet another friend of mine was a Mason. And that just kept weighing on me, really, and at some point it just clicked. It was probably only a week or so later that I thought, here's three guys that, as they might say in the military, if we were at war, I'd want them in my foxhole with me, that if they were Freemasons, and I thought so highly of them, maybe Freemasonry was something I wanted to be a part of. So I went back to my friend at the new job and I asked him about joining, and he told me what had to take place, and ultimately I joined. And here now, about almost 2 years ago, I was raised to the third degree of being a Master Mason. So as time's gone on, I've thought a lot about starting this channel and sharing information about Masonry. Now I'd like to tell you this right up front. If you're watching this channel for the first time, I'm not going to share any information about Freemasonry that you wouldn't be able to figure out on your own. I am a Master Mason in the state of Mississippi in the United States of America, and anything that our Grand Lodge puts out publicly is the information that I will share. If you're trying to find out about what are all the secrets of Master Masons, you're just not going to find that on this channel. I'm not here to tell you the things that you would not learn or that you would have to join a lodge in order to learn. I'm here to teach you and to show you that Freemasonry is not as secretive as you might think that it is. Sure, there are some things out there that we're not going to discuss openly, but there's a lot that we can, and many Masons don't put that out there. So I'd like to put a little information out there, so hopefully some people can be encouraged to come forward and say, hey, that's something I might want to be a part of. So thanks for listening to my story. If you have one of your own that you'd like to share, please feel free to leave some comments below, or even a video response, and I'll take a look at those and be happy to include them if they're appropriate. So again, please subscribe so you can follow along with our conversation, and thank you for watching.